Are we drinking tonight?
We need to actually do that one of these days. We just get high or drunk. I say we, but you guys. And then I get to say weirder shit, and then you guys just go, holy hell.
You know what? It's been a really long time since I've had a high conversation.
We
It's
find a
been
time when Oscar
years.
is free, and then we invite him over.
And if it's very
I'm free on the
successful,
weekends.
it'll just turns into Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and it's just always like that. You're just like, everything's in a haze.
I'm the
I'm free-
trash
I'm-
man.
I'm free on the
The
weekends.
trash man.
I can bring my gear so we sound good. And if I could like stay until 5 in the morning, so I could like actually like get the high out of me and drive.
You just crash on the couch.
Yeah, I was
That's
about
what
to
I mean.
say,
I'll probably
sleep
leave
on
in the
They
middle of
have
the night.
animals.
I'm like
though.
a
Nah.
I'm like a guy who just went on a what do you call it? A one night stand. You just dip out like in the middle of the night.
Sneak out
Don't
at
stay for
5
good
a.m. with your
shame.
shoes in your hand.
Yes,
Listen, as long as you kiss me on the forehead before you leave, we're good.
Little boots.
just snuggle with our beards. Just hi.
This is what lumber sexuality is for all the kids listening.
This is being recorded.
Yes, they're still straight, but they're very masculine looking.
Baby, you act like I
Is this
don't do
queer
this with
baiting?
Jay all the
And
No,
time.
we,
this is not LGBT. This is the masculinity spectrum, not the
This is like
sexuality
Frodo and
spectrum.
this is like Frodo and Sam,
It's
but
Frodo and
like
Sam. They're just friends.
turned up to like 11.
Okay, this is the 4th time we've mentioned Lord of the Rings on the podcast. We're gonna have to pay them
It's a classic.
royalties after a certain point.
Have you seen their podcast?
Oh my
Mary
God,
and Pippin's podcast. I don't even know
They
the
have
actor's
a
name.
podcast? What?
Elijah Wood.
No,
Mary and Pippin.
Mary and Pippin.
Yeah, I don't know those other two.
No, but they have
I'll
them
have to
on
take a
a
look.
few times.
Minor characters.
Nice.
How could you say
Are they
that?
though? Are they
Feeds
though?
blowing up. They're so important. That's
I
the
know,
only
right?
reason
Now it's
All
Saruman got
19
defeated.
viewers are blowing up.
Good
our
news is,
YouTube.
guys. Good news is, guys, we just got a lot of views. Bad news.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can see the dislikes.
True. I can't see them because
Yeah, I don't have that access, but
I
Thomas.
I don't have that Chrome app.
We could
So.
figure it out if it ever
I chose
became
not to get it.
actually important.
Hey,
All right.
What is the topic for tonight?
All right.
Oh, hi,
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Tyler.
Yeah, we'll jump right into it. We have welcome to the fifth
Five. It's five.
episode of the XCals podcast. Soon to get some punctuation changes. We're joined today with Tom. Hello. We're joined today with Oscar.
Hello.
Ooh, Brooke.
Hi.
Oh, and Tyler.
Hello.
Hey, these sexy beasts. All right. Today, I just wanted to throw something on you guys and just get a visceral reaction from it. I have drafted a constitution and a
Ooh.
bill of rights for dun 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 Antarctica. All right. This is a theory, and I just wanted to float it your way. Do you see any problems with this other than the fact that it's in violation of the Antarctica Treaty of 1961?
Doesn't that treaty say that no nations will?
Yes.
Right. But people.
Yes. So, all right, 2 problems, right? Right off the cusp. We assume it's cold. Yeah. Cold doesn't feel good, but the planet's getting warmer. I mean, it's
Is it, though?
probably fine a little bit.
What if the planet is getting warmer and we're in Antarctica? Would that not create problems with flooding? 'Cause
No.
it's all snow and ice.
No, that's the Arctic you're thinking of. Antarctica has a lot of land underneath it. In fact, there's some maps you can look up. I could even show you now, but the
Won't that
viewers
make the
wouldn't see it.
ground mushy?
Yes, it would be a little bit like Antarctica, but it is hilly.
She
It's not
doesn't
like
it
flat.
already.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it might turn into Alaska where you get a bunch of mosquitoes, north of the Arctic Circle, and there's just all these puddles of water everywhere. But it rains so little, like it's a desert. It gets 2 inches of precipitation every year. So you wouldn't actually have that problem. Mosquitoes wouldn't really exist down there. It wouldn't be very mushy, no. If we build now, we build the foundations down to the land, you know, it's not going to move. Or we just kind of settle with the ice until it
I
disappears.
don't think that's how houses work. I don't think they'll just settle onto the ground.
You can make portable ones.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so this is the part where we could like bring up shipping containers and live in them.
Thomas
and
really likes his shipping containers.
connect them all together. Have you like looked at like the container pod homes?
I've seen some of the like videos of them creating the container pod homes.
Yes, I am
they don't look bad.
obsessed. Obsessed.
They don't look bad. It's just going in like I feel like a lot of people would have an issue just because they're like this fucking shipping container. I feel like that would definitely be a thing that some people would think.
Now, Thomas sent me a picture of them. They look really cool.
Yeah. So imagine this.
They're awesome.
We treat it like Snowpiercer and we just connect all the pods together. We each live in a pod and there's some rooms where like
I think they already
there's
did
common
this.
walkways. Yeah,
it's called The Head on HBO.
Really?
Yeah, it's in the Antarctic. It's not a documentary though, but it's an interesting glimpse into what it might be like over there.
Ooh, 90% in Rotten Tomatoes. HBO Asia.
I'm not sure if it's in Asia, but it's called The Head.
Bunch of Mongolians. Okay, I'm game for this. I'm gonna watch.
No,
this.
they don't give each other head.
No. Yeah.
Not on camera, at least.
Oh, this looks dope.
Well, what is their currency?
Blowjobs for oranges.
Dude,
There you go.
blowjobs
That's
for
our default.
oranges.
That's our default. When our currency collapses, that's the barter system.
Seems legit. Oh yeah. So let me show you what I got.
Oh, wow!
That's gonna be gross to look at. Isn't it?
Great job spelling Antarctica, man.
Wait. Oh shit! Don't look at that. The first step to colonizing a new place is you make some changes,
Jesus
right?
Christ! How
To
am
the
I supposed
historical
to zoom?
spelling.
How am I supposed to zoom on this?
All right, this was a bad idea. I'm just gonna attach
Jesus.
it.
Looks like my terminal window.
Don't look at it. Don't look at it. All right, stop sharing my screen. All right. I'm just gonna attach it.
I'm impressed. I will say that.
He did spend a lot of time on it. Yeah. Is this gonna corrupt my computer?
I can paste it if it's a text file, sir.
Why does it want to save in System 32?
I didn't get it. It's not showing on my phone.
Oh my god. Fine.
Now I have a misspelling in my downloads. Thanks,
Okay.
Thomas.
You guys are so bitchy.
Ooh, I like Amendment 17.
Oh, I'm glad you noticed. So we should talk about. So what does Amendment 17 say, or why do you like it so much?
Just that. Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
I don't think I
viewers
practiced
know.
the Tom. I don't think I practiced the Tom accent yet.
Accent.
You always talk in an old timely voice.
Oh.
Who is that? Who's that based off of? Is that based off of like a
Stag,
character?
come
There
here
you go.
and listen.
Oh,
The Diablo.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Deckard Cain.
Still,
Oh, let me tell you a
the
story.
people have a right to a corrupt-free
shit.
government that serves
yes.
the individual and are entitled the proper protections covered under republic
Oh, man.
government.
Please keep reading
No
that like that.
corporation or business, foreign or domestic, may donate
Can you
to
guys hear me?
political campaigns, yes we can, or political social issues. Corporations may donate to nonprofit organizations to get any appropriate tax deduction that may exist.
Keep reading that way.
But if the owners or recipient of said funds in the nonprofit use them to run or use as a stipend for their running for political office, charges of office shall be brought up against any and all individuals who misused it. No individual or single race, sex, religion, age, category, disability, or a formal or informal organization of people may be subject to special privileges or regulations from any level of government that the rest of the population does not also have in place. Same applies to organizations and corporations. No single entity may receive even temporary regulation or privileges that the rest of the same industry or across all industries don't have to face. That's a very verbose way of saying they can't be sponsored by corporations. Also, Fuck you.
That was fantastic.
That's pretty
and
good.
I love you for it so much. Jesus. All right, so basically there can be no super PACs, no campaign funding by Google or Apple or whoever decides to.
I feel like no matter what corporation, no matter what micronation we make, that's gonna be in there. So is probably term limits.
It has to be. It has to be, because I completely disagree with PACs and super PACs. I think initially they could have been created with the intention of doing good. Like, oh yeah, well, but it's just digressed so much since what it was initially set up to be.
Yeah.
Or it could have been evil from the beginning. Who knows?
I think it's important that corporations are in fact seen as people, but I don't think they should apply to people in every circumstance under the law, just for lawsuits. Like, that's the big thing, is lawsuits. Who's liable? The person or the people working for the government? I don't think they should be designated a person when it comes to shit like that. Where they can donate to campaigns. Yes, Brooke, yes.
Antarctica.
Ugh, stop yelling at me. I know I can't spell it right, but I want to be living there for a holiday. Just once, just see how it is.
Watch the head and you won't ever want to go there.
Okay. Now I can't stop thinking it's sexual.
I have a question about amendment. I don't know my Roman numerals, so XIX.
19. Yes, 19. I was distracted by head. The people have a right to news that will not harm them or their families, present or future. The people shall be free from news of suicide so as to not risk the addition of more. News media outlets shall not use their names or, for example, mention a rise of said causes of death. No, but the empirical evidence suggests that more suicides happen after a famous person commits suicide and it's covered on the news.
Ooh.
So it's almost like it's very 1984 / North Korea, where if you just remove words from people's dictionary, they no longer say them, they no longer think them. You get rid of the word depression, you get rid of the word suicide, people stop feeling depressed when killing themselves. You wouldn't know, because you've been very liberal with all the words you've been able to hear. I wasn't allowed to be sad as a child, and today I am never sad. I am always happy.
You know what's interesting?
Shit you not.
Oh, he's raising his hand. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah,
I see the icon. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a thing. I figured it out. So have you guys heard of the mice/rat utopia experiment?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so
Kinky?
just in relation, no, but kind of in relation to that, in terms of societal norms and not talking about suicide, having it lessened. My mind cannot. There's a connection there. I know there is.
Okay, I'm like, what's the connection? Okay, so there's a lot of societal depression. Some people can mistake depression for other things. Okay, fine. Some people are bipolar. Some people aren't. Okay,
Well,
so
it's
what you're
also
trying to say?
it's also like the whole. Oh,
sure. Oh, I get it, because they're not supportive of your needs. Okay, so that's a slide on me for any. Okay, no, I know what you're saying. Your previous relationship. I'm sorry. If they're not able to feel those emotions themselves or validate those emotions themselves, they're not going to be supportive at all when you say you're feeling those emotions. No?
Not where she was going with that.
What are you saying? It's hard to be in a relationship with someone that's happy all the time? Is that what you're saying? Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, but that's like very self-inflicted. As long as they're not like beating up their wives, that's fine, right? We okay with this?
If I may interject, I think
sure.
the point of what Tom was trying to get to is that there's like an not estimation, but like an overdiagnosis of a lot of like mental disorders like ADHD and like depression and all that. And I think if that wasn't bad enough, they also like, well, for kids, wait, what?
No, okay, so Brooke's about to just explode with full-on Aries mode. What I was gonna say is that I agree. I have a friend group out here that 10
I was
out
gonna
of
get
12
to the
of
point
them
of kids.
are on antidepressants.
Right.
So many
And
people on antidepressants my age who have no fucking excuse to be on antidepressants. They have no. Brooke, you're freaking out again. Let me explain. Not everybody has a family member that committed suicide. Not everybody has some deep, dark shit, or they were raped in a dark, scary woods, or they just can't create, or they're bipolar. All right. Yeah, some people get it because it's rainy outside. Some people get it because they compare their body to people online. I'm not a clinical psychologist, so I defer to the experts. Also, Tyler's raising his hand. We should really defer to him. The dog is raising its hand. Give the dog a chance to speak.
A lack of interest to do anything, even basic things such as I would say probably not, but
I think it's an excuse to be a bitch. People go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm depressed. I don't want to. I can't send that email right now. Oh, I can't really be."
Just to lay it out, me and Tom aren't on. Me and Tom
right on off real quick.
Me and Tom aren't on the same page
with that shit.
As far as depression goes, but I think I'm on the same page of things being overdiagnosed or that pills are given to kids or little boys that shouldn't be given to little boys.
You're comparing yourself to people that look happy all the time online.
Hey, can the person with depression speak?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Blame Brooke. Brooke, because we were gonna call on you
First
like
of all,
5 minutes ago.
No, it's not a blame Brooke thing. She was on the right track. You guys are completely off with your dictionary definition of depression.
It's not even the dictionary definition of depression.
No, it's not. It was way off. The point being, depression is not something that is typically easy to control as it is. It just hits you. It can just hit you at any fucking point in time, and to not have a discussion about it, to not be able to acknowledge it at all, is fucking stupid.
That's not what Thomas was saying. Thomas wasn't saying to not talk about depression. Thomas was saying not to talk about suicide. But I would like to talk about their understanding of how mental health works. I would like to go back to that.
I feel like I've done it. When 80% of the society is on antidepressants, it's more of a systemic problem.
Sure.
Okay, that's.
I think Tyler wasn't finished.
Problem. That could be a pharmaceutical problem. Absolutely, 100%. I completely agree that corporations can. No, can I finish my statement?
She just interrupts everyone. Mouthing curse words.
Sure. What is your thought on giving young boys meds? Jesus Christ.
It's 9.
I think you should avoid giving meds to people if you can help it.
I know. Like my kid has got diagnosed mental health issues and he's not on meds. I don't. No doctor that we've seen, and we've seen many, has suggested to give.
Well, but again, that's more of an appeal to like what you know, right? Like, I mean, I've just videos that I've seen online of like going over like I don't know, a lot of ADHD like meds being given to teenagers or kids that are like maybe hyperactive, but like they diagnose them as like special needs when they might not be. Maybe they just need some exercise, you know? Like I'm talking about specifically ADHD medicine, like ADHD medicine that makes them calm down because they move a lot. I mean, wouldn't
That's not how ADHD medication works, because if I take ADHD medication and I'm diagnosed with ADHD, it affects my brain differently than it affects yours if you don't have
Yeah,
it.
it slows you down. For other people,
No, it
it speeds
doesn't.
them
It
up.
slows me down because I have ADHD. It doesn't
Yeah.
slow you down.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why
what I'm
people
saying.
take Adderall in college.
Yeah, that's what I just said that.
but
That
Adderall
it
is
slows
completely
you down,
different
it'll
than
speed
ADHD
everyone else up
medicine,
because the
right?
brain's different. Okay, well, depression is like Xannies and, you know, shit like that. Insert other depression meds. Zoloft.
I mean, that's also super dangerous for your body too, right? Can't people get like can't people die from like a withdrawal of benzos? There's like two things that you can die from a withdrawal of, and that's alcohol and benzo, whatever.
I don't know.
I know you can die from that.
Zoloft,
from, like,
Prozac, Celexa, Pavel.
I mean, those are just the names, but I think they're all
Lexapro.
And I mean, like most but I mean, like I would in this context, in this discussion, I would say that like comparing ADHD medication to depression and anti-anxiety medication is they're very different drugs.
This was all an example of avoiding suicides.
Well, my whole point was just of like overdiagnosis of it, not necessarily like to.
But do you think it's an overdiagnosis, or do you think people weren't getting diagnosed before, so you're not accustomed to a system?
There's definitely people that should have been diagnosed, but I think part of it plays into like the what do you call it?
So
the drug industry.
To a system that doesn't cater to neurodivergency versus a system like this, the system that we have in place does not make any allowances for any neurodivergency, but we are starting to diagnose people earlier and better with more accurate testing methods.
That's true, but I think also there's a I mean, the pharmaceutical industry, like they if that happened during COVID, where like people were like, I don't know, being given treatments that they didn't need during COVID, like, I mean, it's been happening for a while, and all these pharmaceutical companies have been, you know, they've been sued because of it.
Like the pharmaceutical companies, definitely, like the for-profit system that we have is problematic, to be sure, but that doesn't mean that like we have an overdiagnosis of people with neurodivergencies. That's not, I don't think those two things go together. I think that one is an unfortunate side effect of the other with the current system that we have in place, because everything in this country is for profit.
Capitalism, America. Woo!
I mean,
in order have some side effects.
In order to dig deeper on this, we would have to like look at studies made and see the actual percentage. And like, I don't have it. I mean, I'm looking for it. It's not something that's going to be done in a few minutes. So
we'll get a bunch of people with autism on the show, and we'll ask them.
Well, we could probably table that point for later.
We can circle back. That can be a topic for another episode.
Hell yeah!
Fantastic. We can go back to Thomas's.
So like back to it. I think that despite it being in violation of the Antarctica Treaty 1961, I think that it could still find a way to be recognized because there's so much, the glaciers are falling into the ocean. It's really bad. If you just set up shop there and like try to help, or maybe you set up some pipes and you pump the water back on land so it melts, or not melts, other way around. Our evil plan is foiled to melt the Antarctic. No, poor Florida. If we're
right.
If we pump like the water back on there, desalinate it first, fresh water is now back on land, you know, builds the ice caps again, we could actually decrease the water line long term, perhaps. And then because like Nigeria is like, thank you for helping make sure our cities don't go underwater. I don't know. Nigeria's landlocked. Don't look at me. Stuff like that, they'll be like, hell yeah, you're recognized. In fact, we'll give you money. Oh, snap. It's like Alaska now.
You would have to keep up that like help though. Like you wouldn't be able to be like, I'm going to help. And then like a year and be like, this is dumb. We don't want to do this anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why you get a bunch of interns, you know, and you just keep swapping them out. You know, they get their year in and then they leave, you know, and then we're going to have a bunch of slave whales that are going to be like bringing the ice back in, you know, and doing our shipments for us because oil's going to be too expensive and it's not going to look good if we're like saving the planet but using oil. So we have to use slave whales. It's the only way.
I think that there are going to be some groups of people that find that problematic.
When have you ever heard about something being like slave whales are bad?
This just sounds like the Futurama episode where they drop a giant ice cube in the freaking ocean every year.
Yeah. But we'll be pulling it out, you know. You won't stop the planet from warming up, but you will stop the planet from turning into like 80% water instead of 70% water.
Know that I trust the science behind this, but continue.
Yeah. That's
can I get a source on this?
That's my spiel, man. And then we set up like robot dogs, you know, to replace actual nature we're not going to be seeing. We could like have open hunting seasons on penguins. That could be on the flag, maybe. We won't kill all the penguins, but I mean, they'll be good. And a little bit of blubber. Yeah, brother. They're tasty.
I eat penguin.
Put some teriyaki sauce on penguin. Have you ever had penguin? Neither have I, but I bet it tastes like chicken.
I bet it doesn't.
Okay, wow. And depending on where we settle, you know, we could be in that little unclaimed region in the Mary Birdland that has like really strong winds in certain parts of it. So we can get like that Gucci, you know, wind power that's like consistent. And you're like, I know what you're thinking. Like the ice could make it so like the thing's rendered inoperable. But thanks to technology these days, you can actually winterize it to like negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit for our European listeners. We have a lot of European listeners. They're like, oh yeah, the sex club in Czechia. I love it. That was from episode 1. Anyone that's listening. Oh, where were we? Oh yeah. So like that winterized like wind turbines. We're gonna get so much power. It's gonna be so Gucci. We're gonna be like, what can we spend power on? Do we mine for Bitcoin? Do we host Minecraft servers? No, like let's just shoot more water, you know, on land to let it turn into more ice, you know? We save the planet, we get recognized, we can create crazy laws. Next thing you know, there's prostitution, we got strippers and gambling. Sorry, yeah, Brooke, you have your hands up.
Yeah, just a quick side question. Do I need to buy Bitcoin?
Not now.
Right now, no.
Consult.
Not now.
Yeah.
I just sold like 50% of my remaining other crypto. So
do I need to worry about crypto? Like, should I look into it, or can I just not care?
Not currently.
I wouldn't care anymore.
Yeah.
Especially since you have to report all your earnings now to the IRS.
Yeah, since they passed that bill.
not if you buy a US dollar coin and then you transfer it to
how much-
Oh,
decentralized exchange.
are you
And then
serious?
from there,
My tax return, or my tax document from the actual thing said I made like $20 only, even though I made a couple thou. And I reported on my
Well-
taxes I made a couple thou,
oh yeah. See, what
despite
you
it
should
not
have done
saying fuck.
is bought cash in the form of US dollar coin, which is just
I
worth
did.
$1 and it never changes.
I
And you
did do
transfer that to a decentralized exchange, which isn't controlled by an entity, which means that there's no reports that come out, and you use that. You make that exchange with an account made anywhere with the VPN, and then from there you could buy stuff by trading whatever you buy. When it makes profit, you trade it into a different crypto, and then you buy gold using an alias and a VPN.
I did that last part. Anyway, yeah, if we have like really good like weather and instruction set up, if we have everything we need in Antarctica and you'd like our constitution, what we're standing for, how do we feel about this for the budget? Do we think this budget is reasonable? Do we think there are some alterations, things I'm missing? I know you guys are just being shown this for the first time. Let me know. This is also misspelled, by the way. I'm not sure if you noticed. I'm saying just let it go. I can't spell
Let it
Antarctica
go,
right.
let it go.
I bet there would be a lot of need for drugs, but South America's right there, you know. You probably get it as cheap as anywhere else.
What are you talking about?
Like good drugs?
Oh,
or
you
like
guys are
drug
talking
drugs?
about neurodivergency.
I'm answering Tyler's question.
Oh, I thought you were saying like there's not enough drugs. I'm like, we can totally get drugs in Antarctica. Are you kidding me? So many drugs. And we can get it so cheap too, despite transporting it. Like if you transport drugs to Iceland, it's expensive. Transport drugs to Antarctica, I bet you could do it cheap. Have like a giant like zip line, just throwing shit the entire time.
Like
Yeah.
like cocaine?
Yes. We can discuss this later on.
More. We're talking shrooms. We're talking greens. We're talking beans. We're talking potatoes.
I mean, no,
Wow.
if it's coming from South America, it would mostly be heroin or cocaine.
Okay.
Get that pure LSD.
Yeah, it would be mostly cocaine.
Is it still cocaine?
Cocaine's cool.
Like, is that the number one drug?
It's their cash crop. Plus, the people within South America have a very, very strong cultural tie to the cocoa plant.
Oh, I was also thinking peyotes. Peyotes. We're not supposed to take it, but we could take it.
There's a different, you can do
not
something
supposed to
better than peyote. There's a different type, there's like a subclass of cacti that actually has
Peyote.
longer lasting effects. You can get more doses out of it per year. It is pretty much viable anywhere, et cetera, et cetera.
Wait, what were you thinking about, Brooke?
Why are we not allowed to do peyotes? Peyote.
Oh, you can do it in the land, but you're not supposed to take it out of the land or grow it yourself. It's supposed to be for spiritual things only. Like, they're really bitchy about it, frankly. And but at everyone listening on the podcast, we make a lot of references and jokes to doing drugs on the show. All of us are Christian children, and we would never do such things. We have never done such things. We are only mentioning it just for giggles.
God, thanks on sinners.
But yeah, if you're in Antarctica, you're gonna get bored as hell during summer, which is actually their winter, you know. So you're gonna like just do so many drugs. I bet you're gonna run out of. You're gonna run out of prostitutes. You've done everyone else on the island. You can only ship so many in. There's so much snow. You just gotta do drugs and wait till summer or winter.
Why don't we just
winter that which is there.
But wait, that's when you find Brooks Playhouse.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, they'll keep it spicy. Just try a new kink every week.
That's how they generate heat.
We're slowly melting the ice caps.
For power. It's perfect.
Sexual power.
Hey, just have a little. You just at the top. You have like a little pipe. That's where all the heat gets concentrated, and you can make like a little carver of ice.
Smell. You
don't have to smell it. Plus the winds of Antarctica.
The smell of skank.
Jesus.
Wet, sweaty bodies. We could turn it from a desert into a jungle. It
would smell like sweaty balls all the time and be fine. Just a boys' locker room in high school.
I don't know. My balls smell pretty good.
Thanks to insert plug. Oh.
Yeah. Did you do the scoop test?
I do this all the time.
Yeah, you wipe you have to do like a little taste test. Not like taste test, smell test. You like just wipe it with a finger, you smell it. You like just make sure like you don't have like any diseases, you know, because if it smells funky, you have to go to the doctor.
You just get like some
manly powder.
Brooke, you need to do the same thing. Stick a finger in there, really swirl it around, smell. Was it good? Okay. Make sure there's nothing funky in the trunky.
Jesus Christ.
I'll keep that in mind.
You're welcome. We are a medical health podcast sponsored by Johns Hopkins.
Sponsored by Man Powder.
Man Powder.
Man Powder. That's our offshoot brand of Manscaped.
Keep your balls smelling nice and fresh.
I hate those ads. Manscaped.
Oh.
It looks like such a shitty trimmer too. Like it looks like cheap plastic.
Yeah.
Like it looks like what is that? Not Wayfair. What is that? What is that? Is it Wayfair?
Wish.
IKEA.
Wish.
Oh, Wish.
Yes,
Wish.
the meme.
Yeah,
it looks like something from Wish. Yeah.
We're gonna get sued by Wish.
Okay, with what?
We are not saying your products are cheap, Wish. We are saying other people are saying your products are cheap.
Honestly, I've always hated products that are so geared towards marketing towards an audience versus just being good.
Well, that's because it's hard to make a good product.
Right, but I mean, you can make a good
But in
product,
order to compete in the market,
but you can make a good product that's unique and looks cool, and people will buy it.
to an extent, I don't think that's entirely true. I think it's all about how it's marketed.
No, but at least the value that you give to your customers is not like reduced, you know? Like I'm just thinking,
Oh, I'm not saying from like a morally acceptable like obviously
right? Okay. So you mean in terms of business? Yeah,
it's
right.
preferred to have a better product. And I'm not saying I wouldn't buy it. I'm saying
I don't know, man. I just think if I had,
in terms of market share, you wouldn't have a high market share. It would be a niche product.
sure, yeah, I suppose so. You're not wrong. I don't know. I just feel like if I had a ton of money, like for example, like what the Daily Wire just did, like they came out with their own version of Harry's razors.
Yeah,
Not a version of
Jimmy's or
Harry's, but just
Jeremy's or
their
whatever it
own,
is.
yeah, their own razors. What I mean, I assume they have a mostly man audience. Why not lean into like making your men better by not spending as much, and just come out with a product that's like the safety razors, right? They're a lot cheaper to fill up. Like you buy one for $50 or $40, and then you can buy like a $10 like pack of like single razors, and it costs $10 for 50, and you use that over like 3 years, versus buying $50 replaceable razors every 3 months or whatever, and kind of market that, right? Like something smart towards the guys. It's not like this whole cool gimmicky.
It's got to be easy to set up and change your
but the thing is, they look cooler. Like you look at safety racers, they look because they're metal. They look way cooler versus like the plastic old Gillette like replaceable head.
Oh, we don't talk about Gillette on here.
I know.
Ever since.
But
that one
I don't
Super
know.
Bowl commercial or whatever they did. Yeah.
They've lost my business.
I saw that on YouTube.
They taught me a word. I don't want to learn. Nerds.
I think it would still be considered a niche product because
you're not wrong.
I think I understand where you're coming from with it, and I'm not disagreeing with it.
It would be cheaper. It would be cheaper too.
But also I can buy a fucking 20 pack of Bics razors.
And you'd replace them really quick.
Forever.
That's how often you guys don't shave anyway. What are we having this conversation? Look at your guys' faces.
You have a huge beard.
You could buy a straight razor, and it's the same premise. You have a straight razor for your entire life, and it costs like $150 for a nice one.
Yeah, but you could get the replaceable one, and it's like $15 for the actual metal part of it.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'd buy a straight,
and then you just buy a little $10 one.
I'd buy a straight razor.
No, but my point is the
They're
entry level actually costs less.
Brooke, you didn't miss anything.
So the reason why they don't do it is just because of the profit margin.
Yeah, it would be so hard to keep your overhead.
It's not a niche product. It's not a niche product because it's actually cheaper.
Yeah, but the way that you're describing the marketing of it, that's what caught me off guard. Like,
you could have the same marketing for it. It's manly. It's Jeremy's razors, whatever. But the product itself would be cheaper, entry level, or around the same price, but they would save money long term. So yes, you're right. Fair, they would per customer they would make less profit. You're right, but it wouldn't be a niche product.
So is Brooke. I think we need to stop.
Brooke, what did you want to say?
Oh no, I was just trying to get them to stop.
Okay, so you guys, in a weird society like an Antarctica society, what do you think comes first, battered women's shelter or the animal
what kind of
gathering?
Fucking questions do you bring up?
Okay.
I think you're gonna need a battered women's shelter because
no. I'm talking about what comes first. I mean, obviously we need it, yeah, because women are gonna get beat to shit in Antarctica. The winds alone. I'm gonna need counseling. I might need rape therapy. I don't know. I'll be in that shower a long time. It's gonna be really brutal the first couple of years, probably. Let's be real. But
can I come once you've set it all up?
Yeah, come during the winter where it's summer. It'll be fun.
I don't want to be there during the first couple of years when it's hard.
But what's more important, preventing that kind of abuse, or having a place for the abuse, or stopping animals with rabies from biting your citizens? What comes first?
Animals with rabies.
We're all choosing that over. Oh shit! I thought it would have went the other way. Okay.
I'm not choosing it. I'm saying that comes. I think that would come first.
Would you rather have term limits or no sponsors on your politicians?
Term limits.
Oh, that's tough.
Wait, so you have tough. One or the other?
Yes, if you had to choose one, Congress is like, limits. It's got to be one.
Term limits.
Term limits.
All right, 100%. So here's I'm gonna be the devil's advocate. Yeah, I know.
I would make it sponsorships.
So
you muted yourself.
You got muted. Yeah, he clicked mute.
I'm unmuted. Hey, hi.
You were
saying?
Can
you hear me now?
Yes.
So I may play devil's advocate here in terms of like sponsorship. You're talking like PACs, super PACs, corporations, etc.
All of it. Any sponsors not from a human being.
Oh, I'm so on edge about this because I feel like the reason that we have the system in place now that we do, that is corrupted as much as it is solely because of those outside influences affecting the politicians. Because realistically, well, I mean, there's a lot of factors.
Yeah, but once you get someone in your pocket, they're in your pocket, and then we don't have term limits, so they just stay there.
Or their kids are now in their
pocket.
People.
How are they going to get in your pocket? How are they going to be in the pocket if that is against the law?
Okay, fine. Devil's advocate. You live in an African country. You are the minority, and all the black people that live there, because they're the majority, it's not a company. It's not, sponsorships. Yeah, they all donate towards their popular candidate. And that candidate's advocating for white genocide or whatever. You're the minority in that country.
What it take?
But the whole point is that
that's not sponsorship.
That is it depends. It depends. That's fair.
It's not a PAC. It's
private citizenship and freedoms of rights to donate to a campaign.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Again,
that's like the extreme though. That's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, but I mean, it's very similar in regards to.
Okay, fine. You're a socialist in Chile in 1970 whatever, or 1980. Yeah.
No thanks. Hard pass.
Exactly. See, it can happen. So would you rather want multiple shots at the candidate or just one for 80 years? Right.
Okay. Well, I think then it would depend on what size the term limits are.
Right, but you could choose that. That's arbitrary at that point. It's just having term limits or not having them.
But I mean, I just think realistically, with the amount of money that is flowing through all of these higher powered corporations and anyone who would be donating to a campaign, anybody that has the kind of, they could put that forward on any candidate they wanted. So how are you to say that term limits will prevent corruption? Because it's not guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed, but you at least have more shots at it.
Got it. We just have to pick one. Pick one of the options.
Yeah, but what happens when you get...
It's a theoretical situation, Tyler.
They're all
It's okay. It's okay.
But you're talking about like being worried about all these corporations that have money. We're talking very specifically in our Antarctica.
I'm talking about everywhere, but we can apply it just to Antarctica.
You telling me Coca-Cola is not going to send in death squads the second they don't get their candidate in place? Now
they kill all the Pepsi execs.
You've been watching a little bit too much Narcos.
I haven't actually been watching Narcos, but I've been meaning to get around to it.
So good. Have you watched any of them?
Is the cartel embedded in our food industry?
Part of the Mexico one.
Yeah, the Mexico one was cool.
Yeah. It was
I'm at the last ones of the last season. It's not better than the original, the Colombia one, but it's still pretty good.
Good to know.
Still say term limits. So.
In theoretical sense, I suppose term limits, because realistically, while I'm against the sponsorship of any form of candidate, I don't know. I think I'm outnumbered. I got outvoted. So.
Well, just pretend. So there's no in your scenario. One last one. In your scenario, there wouldn't be any sponsorships, right? What if you get a really popular, idealistic person that just happened to come out of a hyperinflationary event? like the Weimar Republic. And this person, without any sponsorship, just ends up making a lot of sense to a lot of people.
Okay.
And he doesn't have a term limit.
But I feel like that's a societal construction because realistically, people are still voting him in, right? So in that sense, they must agree to an extent with whatever that person is perpetuating. Societally, that would have a waterfall effect, would it not?
So, like, if you remember how we voted somebody into office at some point, and there were a lot of people who were really, really supportive, and then at the end of that term, there were some people who had really dropped off. Not everybody, but quite a few. But if there were no term limits in place, and like there were a bunch of people who agreed with this person, and then they were like, we were wrong. This was the incorrect choice. Then how do you get rid of them?
You would still have terms. This is limits to the number of terms you could have as a rep.
So you're okay. So you didn't put that in the rules.
They would still be replaced. Oh, you thought it was like authoritarian government or
like
just
for
not?
That's
not
when you don't put it.
Oh,
yes, you have to define it.
That was implied. My bad.
No, because you're implying a hypothetical, and the hypothetical shouldn't be based off of like our current system of 4 years or whatever. Yeah,
I think this might be where the differential is coming in.
Yeah, I think me and Brooke were thinking like, this is no terms. You're just
long
you're
term.
a king.
You're done. You're good
so we have a king or a queen. Okay, yeah, okay. I have one more. Would you rather? This isn't funny. It's just I'm pulling it off the hook. And then how about we call it for the night? You know, you guys feeling good for that? You ready for this?
Sure.
All right. Would you rather have a country with an extradition treaty with every other country or a country that doesn't have any extradition treaties with any country? Think about it.
That's a really complicated question, I think.
This relates to Thomas's favorite person.
This isn't even fun.
This relates to Thomas's favorite
I think
no
about this all
treaties.
the time. No extradition treaties.
None.
But okay, so what does extradition even mean? Does that mean like?
But also, they have none for you. Oh, sorry, I should imply that. Either you have extradition treaties with every other country, and they have extradition treaties to you, or you have none and they have none on you.
An extradition is only when a foreign national is in your country, right?
And they commit a crime, or like let's say they hack you from their country, you can't have their law enforcement.
Yeah, your
bring
citizen
you
is
here.
hiding in somewhere else. Yeah. Okay. That's a tough one.
No extradition treaties.
That would mean foreigners could come here, shit up if they wanted to, and then if they just hop on a plane before it's due. I say foreigners. I don't mean it in a xenophobic way. I love foreign visitors. I love immigrants. Okay. This isn't about that. I'm just using the word foreigners because that's what they are.
Can we be selective of people that are in our country?
You have to.
That like they have another country has an extradition request for that person that's in our country, or is it always like
in this would you rather? It's you have to pick one or the other.
Okay.
But also means if you say something online and it violates their country's laws.
I would vote for no extradition, and I would just ramp up my my hackers.
And never leave.
I would put more spies in my capital, like Civ. Okay.
Just
counterintelligence.
Make sure the research. Make sure you get the military. Make sure you get So KGB.
Brooke?
Yeah, let's do it.
Unrelated. We would really like to do D&D. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I would too.
Who's we?
All three of us. You're welcome.
Tom's like, I'm already in 5.
Oh, here's the thing, Thomas. So here's my thought. First of all, I sent the link to that one that I think would be really good in terms of relations to building the society.
Okay.
Feel free to take a look at that.
How about we do like you're after level 20 on D&D. You have all your skills and shit. You have money, and it's all the post game. Most people never get that far because it doesn't have the adventure as much. But there's whole like parts of the book, the player's manual, and other shit that just talks about how to create a following, how to create your temple,
how to
or
create
your
an
castle,
industry, how to create everything.
Yeah, exactly. Running a town.
Here's a question regarding YouTube and channels. Would it, because we're obviously a tiny channel, would it be better to put that on the channel itself or make a new channel with game related stuff? Because it is going to be a long series.
Depends how often we do it. Yeah, we could do a one-off. Just link to it.
Well, and that was my other thought. There are plenty of other non D&D RPGs that you can take the dice roll systems from those and apply it to a political themed adventure.
I have one contingency. If we do this and I DM, the universe has to be in some way. Like
that's fair.
Extremely inappropriate.
Yeah,
we're good
absolutely.
with this. All right.
What does that mean?
Like
goblin aids.
Instead of there's goblin aids, there's nunchuck dildos, there's a bunch of other shit in the game that you're like, this is so freaking weird. Why is this here? Like, instead of seeing just a normal troll, it's a troll with his dick out. You know, like it's like more realistic, but kind of not. You know, like it's. Okay. I mean, there's still a chance of seeing a normal troll. Yeah.
I'm here for it, though.
You really have to use your creativity, though, because the shit that's going to be thrown at you is goblin aids.
I know. I went through it. It was milk and leather boots, and we never.
That was so funny.
The way they are.
Solve that with milk and old shoes.
Yeah, no, I know the cartographer was very upset with me because I marked his map.
I also remember you guys murdering that cat that was on top of the chest so many times.
Not our fault. Wait, cat?
So dark.
On the chest?
Yeah.
I did not.
What happened to...
Different D&D group.
No, I'm pretty sure you guys killed the cat.
Nope, there was no
cats. I killed some trolls.
She killed some trolls. We got to the castle.
That was ungodly.
Milk and boots.
Another YouTube question.
Yeah.
Are we trying to build an audience around a specific topic or around a specific group of people, or are we doing things and trying to find an audience that
I don't think we have a vision or a goal. We're just dicking around. I don't think we're going to be profitable at all.
So
that's
the latter.
Just me.
The latter.
We're just having fun. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
It's enjoyable, and if it gets to the point where we have to be specific about things and need to like drill in, we can do so. But I think for now it's kind of like casting out a fishing net and hoping for the best.
I'm okay with shit being up in our D&D stuff. Just tone it down like 20%, 30%.
Maybe not trolls with dicks out. Just that.
Just tell me to tone it down.
Yes, in terms of grotesque and incredibly sexual.
Oh, because we're doing.
I'm saying
nogore.com. Nogore.com.
But I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying tone it down. Tone down the extremities by 20-30%.
Can I send a picture to signal that is why I think religion is a problem?
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
We're just creating future topics.
You're your own woman.
Keep it going.
You are your own woman. We have no battered woman shelter, but you will not get bitten by a dog on our watch.
I don't know. I mean, the slowest person. You just have to be faster than the slowest person. That's my motto.
Yeah.
I concur with no extradition.
Okay. Are we still on this?
Awesome.
I brought it back.
You really thought about it so hard.
Why don't you like the girl with the book?
Oh, what book is that, and what do you think it is?
Genesis.
This is the Bible? Wow, babe.
It has 10th birthday picture on it.
That is her 10th birthday cake.
Oh, that makes sense because it looks a little messed up, and also Genesis is next to John, which shouldn't ever happen. That's New Testament and Old Testament. And Revelations. No, is that Revelations at the bottom?
What's next?
Oh, Revelations is hilarious. It looks like Proverbs.
You said it was next to John? Oh. Genesis 3, John, reverbs.
Jesus.
Yeah, it looks like reverbs. That's awesome. Well, I think that's going to do it for us tonight here at the X-Cows podcast. Remember to tune in every couple weeks or so. We might increase it or decrease it. We'll see how we're feeling. But yeah, I'm definitely going to look forward to a D&D thing coming soon. If you guys are interested, it will be hilarious. A lot of custom magical items. Yeah. Highly recommend. Brooke, you're excited. You want to say something?
I saw TikTok about training, like getting your own army of baby mimics and training them to be arrows.
Oh yeah, you're wrong.
This sounds so chaotic.
That's not the physics behind that are terrible.
Yeah,
it
physics.
doesn't work quite the way you think it would. It doesn't go well.
Could be funny.
Sure.
Yeah. We'll do D&D as long as we can add that one creature from that one messed up TV show you made us watch where like she has a hole in her side.
Oh.
Brooke, you have to laugh in the mic so people can hear you laugh. This happens every episode. I say a joke. Sounds like no one's laughing. In reality, at least one of you are laughing every time, but it never gets picked up. And I just look like a fucking asshole.
I think mine gets picked up.
It's because I'm laughing like with my face, but I'm not making any
noise. This is radio.
Laughers. The quiet laughers.
Quiet laughter.
Tyler needs to upgrade his Wi-Fi too.
Yeah, it's better than Brooks.
Way better than Brooks.
Thomas has something.
Way better than Brooks.
I know he wants me to get better.
I could put it on Wi-Fi. I'm on data right now.
Love you, Cheryl. You're my favorite mom on the West Coast.
Better Wi-Fi.
He is wanting better Wi-Fi.
The podcast needs better Wi-Fi.
He said, "Get on it, or I'm not going to talk to you anymore."
Whoa! Whoa! No,
Wow.
no ultimatum here. You do you, sister. All right.
That's not what he said. He said, "Get on."
Anyway, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week, month, soon, very, very soon.
Sometime in the future.
All right. Bye, guys.